Okay, so come to Tadasana. Tadasana is always the point to start any balance because it's about the perfect position for your posture. It gets your center of gravity right over the top of your spine, down into your legs, through your feet. So your feet should be about hip width apart. Great, thank you for announcing that you have to turn off your phones. I asked you to do it. So, okay, your feet are hip width apart, and your hip width is 2 fist widths between your arches. From there, stand up tall. Isometrically drag your feet toward each other. That will engage all the muscles in your legs. Take your upper inner thighs, rotate them towards the back. And then from there, tilt your pelvis back. They'll put that nice little arch in your lower spine. And then, again, lift your sternum high, the crown of your head, which is the back part on top. It's right where you always get measured. Take that up towards the ceiling. And then inhale, bring your shoulders up to your ears, roll them back, and then just let your shoulder blades float down your back. You can be gazing off at the horizon or find a point on the floor. And then relax all the muscles and maintain your body position. And then open your eyes. We're going to start doing the easy stuff. So from here, just bring your weight into your left foot. Lift up onto your toes of your right foot. Now your hands can go anywhere. Those hands are to keep you upright. But starting simply, just raise that knee up. And notice how your balance feels initially. Maybe you can raise that knee up a little bit more. You're using your hip flexors here to lift that leg. And then straighten out that leg. Push your heel away. And if you fall out, that's fine. This is practice. Once you become stable, begin to take that right foot off to the right, showing your sole of your foot to the sidewall. And then back to the front. And then down. Step that out. Back to Tadasana. The way I like to get into Tadasana is I take one giant inhale, and as I exhale, I can get into the pose. So I don't even have to think about it. Lift your toes and spread them wide, place them back down. Bring your weight into your right foot. Lift your left knee up. First parallel to the floor. Try to get a little stability. And you can always move to a wall if that makes sense for you. Maybe you can lift that knee up higher. And then straighten it out, pushing that heel away, stretching your hamstrings. Now maybe you can move your arms and reach around and just touch your left glutes. And you'll see that they're not engaged. They're not supposed to be engaged. This is all your hip flexors. Then bring that leg out to the left. Try to keep your pelvis pointed forward. Then come back to the center and step down. Okay. Now, grab your strap or your towel. And what I'd like you to do is step in the middle of your strap. Put the strap around the ball of your foot. This would be your right foot. Now, if you have to lean over a little bit, that's okay. We're not going to be here too long. But stand straightish. And then on an inhale, use the strap to lift that right foot up. And then climb the strap with your hand. You can see how high you can get. The reason why I'm having you do this is that you're bringing more weight into different parts of your body so that your fascia and your brain have to work more. And then begin to straighten that leg out. You know the drill. Put it out in the front. And if you fall out, that's okay. And then you know where we're going. Out to the right. And back to center. And then release. Step that out. We have one other side here. Actually, I just lied. But anyway, come back to your bent version of Tadasana. Weight into your right leg. Bend your left knee. Begin to raise it up. And then walk hand over hand, lifting the foot up, raising up your knee. And then straighten out that leg. You can use one or two hands on the strap. And off to the left. You're building strength in your ankle, in your foot, into the front. And then down. Step that out. I told you I lied when you have the other, only one other side. You have a back side. And so grab your strap, right hand, bring the strap behind your leg so that your strap is hooking your heel. So you're right about in the middle of your foot. I'll do it from this side so you can see what kind of terror I'm going to induce you to do. From here, lift that foot up just an inch. And then begin to pull that strap, lifting that leg back. Your chest comes forward a bit. And maybe now you can reach around behind with your left hand, maybe not. Just feel your right glutes. Your left also. You see your glutes are really engaged here. That's because your glutes draw your legs back and up. And then release. Step down. The other foot. You can make a bind here if you want. I think it's a little easier with a bind. Lift up, and then bring that leg back. I think the more tension you put in this, the easier it is to maintain your balance. Until you fall off. And then release. Lock that out. Maybe make some circles with your hips. First one direction and then the other. That's it for the balance. So you can throw that strap away. And the first hand pose, what we're going to use for the meditation, is going to be the yoga squat. But I want your sit bones to be resting on the block. That way, your muscles will be able to soften. I know some of you can last for 5 minutes doing a regular yoga squat, and that's admirable. But this is not a hockey class. So place the blocks however high you think you need. It could be 6 inches or 9 inches or 4 inches or whatever combination. The way I like to do this, and you don't have to do it straight from standing, you can get down on your knees and just sit down, then bring your feet. But bring your feet roughly at 10 and 2. Your heels just a little bit in front of your blocks. And then begin to drop your hips. And hopefully your aim is good. And from here, feel the stretch in your ankles. Your feet are being flexed a lot. You should be feeling this in your groins. Bring your palms together. And to start here, lift your shoulders up towards your ears. Just see what that's like. And now, lower your shoulders by dropping your shoulder blades. Could you feel that on your spine? That straightens up your spine, gets the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. And from here, allow your eyes to close. Take a deep cleansing breath in through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Take another deep cleansing breath in through your nose. Exhale out through your nose. And let your breath come to its own natural rhythm in and out through your nose. Notice if your shoulders have crept up. If that's the case, just push those shoulders down. That should release a little bit of the tension in your ankles. Notice your breath here. What parts of your lungs inflate first? Is your breath deep or shallow? Is it quick or is it slow? Doesn't matter as long as this is the normal breath. Notice where the sensations have migrated. In a pose like this, that's pretty stressful initially. Sometimes your muscles soften, other times they seize up. If they seize up, just walk your feet an inch forward. Deepen your breath and begin again. Begin to deepen your breath. Open your eyes. And on an exhale, release your hands. I'm going to come down into table pose. So however you get there, it's up to you. But from here, and table, make sure that your toenails are down. That will stretch out your ankles rather than having them flex. That should feel pretty good. And do a few cat-cows. You may find that your lower spine needs that movement. And today's class is going to be focused on your spine and on your shoulders. Next time you come to center here, just walk your hands back and sit on your heels just for 3 or 4 breaths. This will put extra weight on top of your ankles, stretching them out. It should feel pretty good after the yoga squat. And then we're going into an arm roll up. So what I'd like you to do is come back up into table, walk your feet back, your knees back, And hands forward and come down onto your chest. You can use a towel or a block underneath your collarbones. And bring your arms out into T. This first arm roll up is going to be off to the right. So try to get your arms 90 degrees. And you can always move them depending on how the sensations are. On your next inhale, bring that left hand in close to your shoulder, left shoulder. And then begin to lift your left shoulder up. Roll onto your right hip. Trapping your arm behind you. Now you may find that this is pretty serious stuff for your head. You may want to use a block underneath your head. You can use either one of your legs to act as kickstand to prevent you from going too far or to help keep pressure on that shoulder. But you're looking to get some opening on that shoulder. Now you may find that this is too much to bear, or maybe you find that you can't go any farther, but it doesn't hurt. All that means is that your shoulders, the bones of your shoulders, are preventing you from going farther. So you have a couple of options. One is move that hand a little bit towards your feet. Just rotate it down a little bit. Or you can rotate it up a little bit higher. And everybody here is going to be different. This is not supposed to hurt. It's supposed to be a nice stretch. You want to be able to relax those muscles that are stretching. And when those muscles soften, that's when the tension is transferred into your fascia. This is stretching all the muscles in your rotator cuff, the 5 major muscles, and the other 6 muscles that add stability. Maybe you can take your left arm rather, and feel across the front part of your chest up near your shoulder. You can feel where some of those muscles are. Begin to deepen your breath. Then your next exhale, begin to come back down. Remove any block you might have. But stay on your front side. Maybe bring your arms down by your side. You can turn your head one way or the other. And your palms facing the ceiling. And just let your shoulders roll off the sides of your back. That was a big out rotation on your shoulder. And to counter that, on your next inhale, bring your hands up next to your shoulders. And then get your elbows directly underneath your shoulders, your palms out, straight in front, palms down, like you are going to go into Sphinx pose. Lift your chest high. We're going to do arm shoelace. And for that, take your left elbow and bend that and rotate that left hand behind your right elbow. So that left arm was here, you just bend that down so that your left hand, left palm is facing up. Now, take your right hand and bring it the opposite direction. Your palm off towards the left part of your mat so that your wrists are parallel. And then move your hands a little bit farther apart, keeping your orientation going up. Before you get too far, maybe you want a block to put underneath your head. And maybe your elbows can meet in the middle. The palms up towards the ceiling. Put your toenails on the mat. Soften your glutes, maybe rocking back and forth a little bit. And then bow your head and feel the tension drawing your shoulder blades apart. Your right shoulder blade wants to move off to the side of your rib cage, and your left does too. Now, most of you will have more sensation in your right arm than your left. Some people have it the other way. This is a really intense pose. Sometimes I can do this, other times I can't. And if it's just too much, you can always do a couple of things. One is you can put your toes onto the mat and bring your chest forward, leaving your elbows where they are, so that your your elbows get closer to your navel. It just lessens the intensity. And if your right shoulder is just not going to cooperate, you can always bring that right arm out to the front of your mat, palm up. Just allow your head to bow forward. This is a big inward rotation. Begin to deepen your breath. On your next inhale, lift your head up. And then very gently, very slowly, rock from one side, scooch an elbow, and then rock to the other side, scooch the other elbow, until you are free. And find your way to your back, coming into Shavasana. Now your arms can be by your side, they can be out to the side, palms facing up, your knees can be bent or straight. And just feel how your body is bringing more resources, more blood, more oxygen into your cells. Maybe you can detect the temperature difference. On your next inhale, if your legs aren't straight, straighten them out. And bring your arms and reach as far away from your feet as you can towards the wall beyond your head, and push your heels away from your palms. Your fingers away from your toes. Bring your arms back down by your sides. Walk your feet up towards your sit bones. We're going to do a spinal twist. So take your right foot up towards the ceiling. And I'm going to offer twisted roots, which some of you may be able to do. It's like eagle legs. Otherwise, all you really need to do is cross your right ankle over your left thigh, like a gentleman sitting. Or you could bring your thighs together and hook your right foot behind the left ankle. Bring your arms into T, and then slowly roll your knees off to the left, gaze off to the right. You're getting a nice twist on your chest, on your spine. Those muscles on your chest and your rotators are being released now. And by having your legs in the position they are, you're stretching your glutes on the right side. And if you'd like to just check that out, you can reach over whenever it's convenient. And feel that tension. So try to relax your glutes. Relax your core. Begin to deepen your breath. On your next inhale, bring your knees back to center. Release your bind. Draw your knees into your chest and give yourself a squeeze. And rock from left to right. Massaging your spine. And the next time you come over towards the right side, go all the way over. And then use your left hand to make your way back up into a seated position. Dragonfly is the next pose. So dragonfly is a straddle. You can sit on a block if you wish. You don't have to. If you do get up on a block, make sure that your sit bones are on the very front edge. That way your pelvis will tilt forward. Bring your legs out. You can test the maximum you can possibly go, and then bring your legs back maybe 3 inches on each side so that you're about 70% of your maximum. If you're always start at your maximum, you'll never be able to relax. And the whole secret about yin is finding softness in your muscles. So from here, inhale your spine tall. And then as you exhale, walk your fingers forward, take your collarbones towards the front of your mat until your body asks you to cease. And just pause there for a moment. Notice where the sensations are greatest. You have some options here. You can always bend your knees. You can put blocks underneath your knees. That will allow your hamstrings and groins to soften. Listen carefully. On your next inhale, lift up just about halfway. Stretch your spine long. Pull forward again. This time, maybe try to moon the person behind you. If your pelvis isn't already tilted, this will do it. And then allow your spine to round. Allow your head to fall forward. Allow your legs just to fall free. Remember, you're not resisting this. If you find that your muscles are still engaged, just back up. Maybe walk your fingers back an inch or two. Or maybe bring your legs a little bit closer together. And then fold forward again. And let your body seek the perfect position where your muscles can soften. Sometimes it helps if you just turn your palms up towards the ceiling Allow your shoulders to soften. Begin to deepen your breath. On your next inhale, work your hands back, lifting your chest. If you're using blocks, carefully remove them. Bring your hands behind your hips. Bend your knees and bring your footprints onto the mat. Be aware of how your hips feel right now as you begin to windshield wiper one direction and then the other. And notice how your body brings relief. And the next time you come to center, pause. From here, we're going to go back over onto your belly. So maybe just come onto your favorite hip, swing your legs around behind, and come forward onto your belly. And this time we're going to do a pose called founder. It's a yawn pose, a strength building pose. And so start with your arms out in T, and then bend them to into cactus. And my favorite yoga instructor used to call this pose Saturday night at 7-Eleven. So anyway, from there, your forehead is down, push your toenails into the mat, and on an inhale, lift your chest, lift your elbows, and most importantly, lift your fingertips higher than your elbows. Gaze down. You don't want to stress your neck. I know some of these poses are 5 minutes, but this is 5 breaths. And on your next exhale, all the way down, use your forearms as a pillow. Turn your head one direction or the other. And rock your hips from side to side. You're engaging the muscles of your spine, your thoracolumbar muscles that run right alongside your spine, on either side. And then bring your arms back into cactus. This time, walk your feet way out to the edges of your mat. Toenails still down. Push down with your toenails and inhale and lift your chest. Lift your elbows, lift your fingertips. You may find that your chest heaves in sequence with your breathing. One more breath. And down. Cross your arms the opposite way. Move your head to the other direction. On your next inhale, come back to center. Bring your hands next to your chest. Push the floor away, rising up into the table. And do a few cat-cows here. Look between your legs. If you can see your feet, move your feet out a little bit. On an inhale, your belly drops, your chest comes forward. Your sit bones lift and separate. And then on an exhale, round your spine, tuck your tailbone under, and your chin comes towards your chest. And then in sequence with your own breath. Inhale to cow, exhale to cat. The next time you come to center pause, I really like my belly today. So walk your hands forward one more time. Walk your knees back and come into Sphinx. Get your elbows right underneath your shoulders. Your palms are flat. Now your toenails should be down. Your feet can be apart. But lift your chest high and gaze down between your fingers. You don't want to be looking up because that could strain your cervical spine. From here, for Sphinx, push your toenails down. That will lift your knees. Isometrically drag your elbows towards your hips so that your only points of contact are your hands, your elbows, your toes, and your pubic bone. And then begin to release your muscles one at a time. It can be from your feet up. It can be from your hands down. Notice your belly coming into contact with the mat. Keep your chest high, but feel this back bend. You're stretching your abs here. And then when you're ready, just allow your head to bow forward. Maybe move your head a little bit left to right or make small circles on your mat with your nose. And then on your next exhale, release, cross your arms, use your forearms as a pillow, and bring your right knee up towards your right elbow. That little counter positioning allows your spine to twist, relieving your spine. And then on your next inhale, straighten out that right leg. Come back up onto your elbows, your palms down. This time, spread your feet really wide. Push your toenails down, lifting your chest again. Lifting your knees up off the mat. Draw your elbows again towards your hips. Feel those muscles that are doing the work. Those are the ones you want to release. And then slowly release your knees down to the mat. your calves and your thighs, your glutes, your lower back. Maybe you'll have a sensation that your chest is rising. And then allow your head to fall forward. The only muscles in your body that are being engaged right now are those in your shoulders to hold your chest. See if you can find that exact vertebra where the sensations are greatest in this back bend. And then when you're ready, release, cross your elbows the opposite direction, your head to the opposite direction. And then bring your left knee up towards your left shoulder or elbow. And soften your glutes in your spine. And on your next inhale, straighten your left leg. Bring your hands back next to your chest. Push the floor away. Coming back up through table. Spread your knees wide. Bring your feet together. Your big toes together. And then walk your hands forward, coming into child's pose. Allow your chest to come down towards the mat. Rest your head on the mat or on a block or a towel. It's more comfortable to have your arms by your sides or bent, or even reaching for your toes between your legs. Go for it. This counter pose, like all counter poses, are designed to bring relief and release to those muscles that you were engaging. Let your shoulders just float off to the side of your chest. Begin to deepen your breath. On your next inhale, walk your hands back. Raise your hips up into table and do some cat-cow stick. Exaggerate your movement. That will get more synovial fluid into your shoulders and into your hips, and into your spine. And the next time you come to center, pause. Well, we're back to an arm roll up. So, hate to tell you, walk your hands forward, come down onto your chest one more time. Bring your arms out into T. Have a block handy. You may want to use that as a pillow. Then bring your right hand next to your chest. And push the floor away, raising up that right shoulder. Trapping that left arm behind you. Putting some tension. And notice that this side is different from the other. If you're right arm dominant, this side is probably more flexible. But find a place that you can stretch and still find the softness in those muscles being stretched. Maybe again, use your right hand to massage the front of your chest on the left side. You'll get the most out of the pose if you do the least amount of work. You've spent years observing your fascia shrinking, tightening your body. And now you have the opportunity to stretch that fascia, stimulate it so that new growth occurs, giving your muscles more space inside your body. Begin to deepen your breath. On your next inhale, begin to come out of it by bringing your right hand as a kickstand and slowly returning down onto your chest. Bend that left arm very carefully. It may be really tender. Pause here on your belly, your arms can be next to your chest or next to your body, whatever works best for you. Try to soften your shoulders. Maybe bring a little bit of movement into your shoulders. And then on your next inhale, bring your hands next to your shoulders again. Walk your hands forward, bringing your elbows underneath your shoulders. Coming to arm shoelace again. So if you want to try using a block underneath your head, now's a good time, rather than waiting for me to forget. So from here, bend your right elbow, bring your right hand behind your left elbow, and then bring your left hand in front of your right elbow, palms up, and then walk one elbow in the wrong direction, and then the other elbow in the other wrong direction. Get the amount of tension on your shoulders that feels good. And from there, just allow your chest to come down. Allow your head to bow. And your head may be an inch above the block. That's okay. That will allow you to detect movement as your fascia begins to get engaged, as your muscles soften, your shoulder blades will pull towards the outer sides of your back. Slide down the sides of your ribs, allowing your chest to come down and your head to come down and rest on the block. And remember, if it gets too difficult, back up. You can always move your elbows down closer towards your navel. But just take your left arm, straighten it out towards the front of the mat. Soften your glutes here. Soften your lower back. begin to deepen your breath. Notice how much of your forehead is on that block compared to when you started. And then lift your head up. And begin to extricate yourself. Lean in one direction. Move one elbow. Quarter inch or so. And the other. And when you finally break free, roll over onto your back into Shavasana. Using the least movement possible. Your knees can be bent or straight. Your arms can be by your side or out in T. Whatever is best for your body. Begin to deepen your breath. On your next inhale, open your eyes. Walk your feet out long. Push your heels away. Bring your arms towards the wall beyond your head and stretch. Again, from palms to heels. Fingers away from your toes. Spread your toes and fingers, wiggle them. And bring your arms back down by your sides. Walk your footprints up towards your sit bones. And for spinal twist, we still have the same options available. Stretch your left foot up and place it on the ceiling. You can bend that knee and bring the ankle over the thigh, or you can bring your thighs together like a girl. Maybe hooking your left foot behind the right ankle. Bring your arms out into T. And then on an exhale, lower your knees off to the right. If your left shoulder comes up off the mat, that's okay. Just make sure that your forearm and hand is being supported, even if you're using a block. Soften your glutes here. Soften your lower belly. Begin to deepen your breath. On your next inhale, bring your knees back to center. Uncross your legs. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Maybe make some circles on the ceiling with your knees. Or rock from left to right. If you make circles, make sure you go the opposite direction. And the next time you come to center, pause. Release one leg out to the front corner of your mat. Push that heel away. Bring the other heel out to the other corner of the mat. I recommend bringing your arms out into T, palms up. Stretch your fingernails away from the other hand. And then just relax your arms, relax your shoulders. Let your ankles go. Your feet fall however gravity wants them to. Rock your head a little bit left to right to find the perfect landing point for your skull. Take a deep cleansing breath in through your nose. Exhale it out through your nose. Take another cleansing breath in through your nose. Out through your nose. And take rest. I'll be coming around, adjusting some of you. I will not be able to get to everyone. If you do not want me to touch you, wave me away when you hear my footprints. Begin to deepen your breath. Bring your awareness back into your space. Bring movement to your fingers, into your hands, to your wrists, and to your ankles. Gently roll your head from side to side. And when you're ready, walk your footprints up towards your sit bones. Draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. And rock from left to right. Make circles. And the next time you come over towards your right side, pause there for a moment in fetal position, using your right arm as a pillow. And scan your body for any hidden tension or stress that you would like to address later this week. And then use the strength in your left hand to push the floor away, rising up to a seated position. Thank you for sharing your practice with me this afternoon. Thank you for taking the time and effort to care for your body and your mind through the practice of yoga. Take the compassion and peace and empathy that you practice every time you step on your mat with you everywhere you go and share with each person you may meet. Namaste. Namaste. My name is Clint, and this has been Yin Yoga. Thank you for coming.